my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine. Oh Lord. How's everybody doing? All right.
How everybody doing after that holiday meal? Y'all still do it?
This is our down south children. Hey Hudson Community Church, Pastor Hudson. Hey Sid, how are you? Good to see you. It's not on yet. No, I'm not. Where?
Some people are not tech savvy, so I have to help them out. Excuse me, please.
It ain't on. It'll catch up in a minute. There it is. Okay.
Now turn your volume.
See?
Turn your volume down. Turn your volume down.
Okay.
We got to do this every single time.
Judy Gardner. Hi. How are you? Good, Hudson. Hope everything is going good. Hope everybody had a great holiday.
Yes. Hope everyone. I'm going to say I hope everyone enjoyed their day off. Since most of us were celebrating holidays, so but we all ate good. Are you still hearing fireworks in your neighborhood?
Yes, all night long. Michelle Joyner, Cassandra Murph, Sandra Yvette, how y'all doing? We got a hot topic for you tonight. I'm gonna need some response from some of my guests here. And again, by way of announcement, we want you to like Candid Conversation page so that we can see all of the comments at the same time. So we're looking on several different objects here. It's like cameras here. Cannons to the left of them. Cannons to the right of them. Fire and thunder, whatever he said. I just watched that on Will Smith the other day. Woo, I'm acting crazy.
I'm asking for prayer.
Kevin Merritt.
Because we're going to need it tonight.
Hey,
okay, I'm going to need it tonight.
This is going to be a great subject.
So we want to welcome everybody in. I see. Okay. Hey, Sam. Hey, Truzy.
Okay. Goated.
Truzy by Truzy.
Goated boy. Our holiday is Juneteenth. Okay, I hear you.
Doing? So we're going to get started. Ooh, where the glasses come from? You scared me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen Williams. Hey.
Okay, so I have a special. I see a special guest in the house, Truzy by Truzy.
Angela Dawson's in the house.
So, product. I might get ready to light my page up with some new gear by Truzy, y'all. Let you know it's hot.
All right.
On fire. So, we have a great subject tonight, but first, let me welcome Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Welcome, everyone. You tuned in to Candid Conversations tonight with your hosts, Val Jefferson and
Wade Howard.
I think we did it backwards this time, but it's
okay. We did it. Right. So we're going to change it up. We're going to change it up, Tristan. We're going to change it up.
We are going to change it up. Love you, too.
Yeah.
We coming off a holiday. How was your holiday? I'm sorry, I said it wasn't a holiday. It was your day off. How was your day off?
Well, it was good. I barbecued. I still barbecued and stuff, even though we didn't really necessarily celebrate the 4th as the 4th.
Right.
But since it was a day off, we just barbecued and sat around. Had a couple of my buddies came over, and we just sat around and talked crazy and ate. And so a couple people came by, like I said, and then we just... trust me, I should have brought you some because I made too much. Them people, I was going to call them Negroes, but they did not take any of that food home hardly. So Kim, Renee, Gilbert, Chris, and Nikki, you didn't take nothing home, and you left me stuck with it. Somebody's dog gonna be happy.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a dog holiday.
All right.
So
Hi,
Anyway.
John. How are you? Okay, so good. I'm glad you had a great time. I spent time with the Jeffersons this past weekend. We lost our matriarch, mother, Grace Jefferson, and still praying for the Jefferson family. And but it was great seeing everyone. It's been years since I've seen a lot of people, so it was great spending time with you guys, and still praying for you.
Right.
And so anyway, we're gonna move on into the show. So what's the topic tonight?
The topic tonight is I don't remember. Oh. Okay.
I promise you, we have no beverages over here. We probably, oh Lord.
I didn't drink that.
That is it.
Okay. So tonight's topic. What's tonight's topic? I know. What is it? Give me the first word. Give me the first syllable. Give me the first syllable.
Okay, so anyway, we're gonna be talking about we're on relationships again tonight.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on relationships again tonight, and I don't know. Wade might sing again tonight. Not really sure.
Oh, I'm gonna sing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so I want to hear about it. Okay, what's the topic? Okay, so the one thing is one part is a discussion always perceived as an argument. But what was the first one?
You want to know what the first one is?
What was the first one? See, we yes. Okay. All right, we got it.
We're in bad shape.
Listen. Okay. What could be the cause of your spouse's attitude, be it good or bad? What are some causes? And as a subtopic is a discussion. Why is a discussion perceived as an argument by either party?
Exactly.
Either the man or the woman. All right?
So we're going to need people to chime in tonight. We love the participation from our pages. So feel free to chime in at any time.
That means write a comment so that we can say what your comment is and we can say what it is. Hey, Pastor Cloud. Hey, I am Kimmy Cates. Hey, you supposed to be doing a sleep study. All right, who we got? Voiced by an angel. Amen. All right. So, what are some of the causes? So, there are several things I'm going to put out on the board, and you guys take it. Val's going to take it. We're going to take it. We're going to run there. Val got a whole lot because, Val can make folk. She can just. Okay. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So, is it the way you say something to a person, to that spouse? Or is it what you say to them? Is it, in other words, is how you saying it, the attitude that you're saying it with, the body language, the facial expressions, all right? You going off and doing something without consulting with your spouse, or you leaving the house at night, like 11:30, 12 o'clock, talking about you running out somewhere, or you did not consult with your spouse, you just got in your car and you left, be it male or female.
Why are you going at 11, 12 o'clock at night?
Well, that's the whole point. People do it. People do it, all right? What else, what can cause the attitude of the spouse, be it good or bad? So now, on the flip side, which is the good side, do you send her flowers? Do you write her love letters and poems? You send it on her job. Do you call her and tell her you're thinking about her, or do you call him and tell him you're thinking about him? So what are things that cause an attitude, whether it be good or bad? All right. Can that argument or can that discussion be perceived as an argument based on what?
Tone.
Tone is one.
Tone.
All right.
Absolutely. Tone, body language.
All right.
If we're going to have a discussion, but the thing is, if I'm having a discussion with someone and it's just, I'm speaking in this tone and I'm trying to talk about whatever it is. It can be kids, bills, vacation, work, or just about anything. And I'm just having a discussion, and then all of a sudden it's perceived as an argument, or it's taken the wrong way, or taken out of context, and not what you're trying to convey.
Well, do you roll your neck?
No.
You be roll your neck, you put your hand on your hip, and do you speak it like is it coming out in a way like?
I said in this tone.
In this tone.
Yeah. I'm speaking in this
But
tone.
that
in
tone,
this tone. No, in this tone. Now, what I just said to you was a different tone, though.
But that tone that you said you're speaking in can be perceived as sarcasm.
Well, it depends. Because if I say, I'm really speaking in this tone, I'm speaking in this tone.
Okay, so you just changed it up with your body language.
I changed it up with my body language.
Okay.
Or I can be very sarcastic. I'm speaking in this tone.
Right. And it's always that look that follows
right.
the saying, which that makes it sarcasm. So people read body language along with what you say.
Exactly.
However, some people say, but I don't have an attitude. There's nothing wrong. I just told you what you asked me. So why are you perceiving it as, why are you acquiring an attitude, a bad attitude behind what I'm saying? Why? Possibly because sometimes men don't like to be told something. Men don't like for his woman or any woman to say anything that sounds instructional.
Right.
Some men may not take it that way. It depends on how confident you might be in yourself and you knowing who you are. You're a man, you're a real man, and you know you're a man, and so you don't have anything to prove. And so you're not perceiving it as if it is degrading you, or if it's intimidating you, or if it's even challenging your manhood. On the same token, or on the other side, there are women that feel like you're not going to talk to me any kind of way.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not trying to talk to you. I just told you what I said, and you might not be perceived, or did you have a bad day? As to the reason why you perceived it in such a way that gave you the wrong attitude or a bad attitude.
Well, I feel like if I it depends on how you say something to me. Because if you say something wrong to me, come the wrong way, I'm going to definitely have an attitude.
Okay, so I say. So what?
Because if you say, well, listen, this is what you better do. Well, what you need to do is no. That's not.
But then a woman will say that, and then
absolutely, it goes both ways.
But a woman will say that.
A woman will say that.
That a man should be able to take that. Exactly. But the minute you say it to a woman, then a woman gonna be like, they gonna be rolling fingers,
exactly.
Gonna be up.
It goes both ways, and that's why we have to be careful in not speaking out of anger, taking a step back, calm down, and then have an adult conversation. Now, that conversation in a calming voice. Now, if someone is feeling a little uptight or feel like they got caught or whatever the situation may come across, but I know I can have a conversation and it can come across as, well, why are you hollering at me? I can be speaking in the calmest tone. It's not. We're just having a conversation. Why do you think I'm having an attitude if I ask you something? Or we're just discussing something that may be going on with the house, or having some work done with some contractors, or whatever it may be. But why does that have to be a argument? Because it's not. It's just a discussion.
So I wish we had a psychologist in the audience to
Do we
give
have one in the audience?
and
There's a lot of
right
educated people here, so
because there are studies on the mind and the perception of people based upon where they are, what kind of day they might have had, how they woke up that morning. I was at church and the pastor talked about how that things in your mind can be talking to you through the TV. So you looking at a murder movie and you fall asleep on a murder movie and you wake up and you ready to murder somebody. Subliminal messages. But so the mind is a very absorbing entity in us, and it causes us to react to what's input in it. All right.
right.
So a psychologist would deal with some of the causes, like what causes an attitude. Let's say if you and I were married, and I say, Val, I don't want you to go out tonight. You were hard bent and set on going out. You were set on going out. So when I expressed to you that I don't want you to go out, you'd be like, you ain't my daddy. You don't tell me what to do. I'm not telling you. I'm saying I'm making a request to say, I just don't want you to go out tonight. But remember, you were set. Think about it.
You made plans.
You had made plans. You were set.
Dressed, ready to go.
But I feel like I don't want you to go out tonight. Then you're going out with single women who don't have husbands, who have boyfriends.
Okay.
They have boyfriends when they want to have a boyfriend.
Okay.
And so now you want to go out with them, but you married and you good in marriage. You ain't half married. You good in marriage. You got a whole marriage. Okay.
We'll get back to the half married part, but okay.
Okay. Because there are people that are half married.
I made a good job.
So like they say, is your husband married or is your wife married?
Oh, wow.
Are they married or are you married? In other words, they say, are you married? Yes, you're married on paper, but are you married? Okay.
Are you backing up?
Okay. So now, things that cause an attitude. So when I was in a relationship and my wife left the house saying going to get some cigarettes at 12 o'clock at night by herself. Didn't say, hey, come go to the store with me so I can get some cigarettes.
Was she that type of smoker, though?
Yes, he smoked.
There are people that's like chain smokers that smoke, and they like every time you turn around, they got a cigarette in it.
Okay. All right. So let's deal with that for a minute. Do you jeopardize your relationship because you have this driving force? You have this driving habit that's driving you. All right. And so what would be the lesser evils? Okay. You got this habit and you got to go get some cigarettes. You got to go get some beer or whatever. Wouldn't it be easier to say, can you go to the store with me? Instead of just getting up and just leaving and don't say nothing.
Yeah, but my question is, can just not wait until tomorrow?
That too. That too, right.
It's late. Whether you're male or female, it's late. What's the point of me to go out this late?
Right.
To get anything, can it not wait until tomorrow? Or maybe we need to have another discussion.
So that now that habit or that urge is just like a person that is on crack or an alcoholic that's got to have something to drink, and you ask that question, can it wait till tomorrow? No! I want my cigarette now. I'm having a nicotine fit. I want my drink now because I'm an alcoholic. So they got to go out right there. How do you handle that? What do you do at that point to either keep the peace or cause more disruption? What do you think?
I can go. Okay, I can go with you.
Right.
I can go with you. That's a good way to keep the peace. Or some people, it can be someone else that, okay, go ahead on. I'll see you when you get back. Be careful.
Okay, so they're letting you know at that point, but I'm talking to them now. Let's go to when they don't let you know and they just jump in the car and leave.
Then we're gonna have a problem when you get back.
That's right. Now that's one of the causes. That's a root cause for an attitude, for a bad attitude.
That's a bad attitude.
So a woman A woman will go to sleep and carry that bad attitude to sleep with her and wake up the next day with that bad attitude. And then you will know it the rest of the day because she's going to let you know that I'm pissed off at you without even saying it.
Exactly.
Come on, ladies. Where y'all at? Nobody wants to chime in because what is this a tough? Is it touchy? Is it hitting home? What's up? What's up? I need to hear from you.
That's definitely one I would definitely have attitude the next day. I wouldn't say anything though. I'd be dealing with it because at that point I have nothing to say that's going to it's going to counteract this whole situation. I will be very angry. So it's going to escalate if I say something and I'm still mad. So
I understand that.
That's why I get quiet. I get real quiet until I can think things through, until I can have that calm conversation with you, that we can have that actual discussion. Because nothing I want to do is continue to keep it heated.
But at the same time,
because that takes maturity.
That quietness can also be perceived as attitude. And now you are ignoring your spouse. Yeah. Or you're ignoring your boyfriend or your girlfriend.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Getting quiet is one thing. If you ask me something, I'm going to answer it. I'm going to still make dinner, whatever we had planned for the day, I'm still going to do. See, I don't shut down like that. I would still go through the rest of the day like it's normal. I just don't have anything to say as far as that subject is concerned. But if you need to talk about something, we're going to talk about it. But anything outside of that, no, I'm not going to deal with it.
Well, I mean that I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So now you different mindsets. Now, different experiences.
Of course.
Different situations, circumstances calls for that type. Whatever it calls for, a response that is conducive to whatever that person might have gone through. Okay, you had a bad day at work. And then I come home, and then you come home, and then your spouse is being quiet. But you've been dealing with crazy people, and you need your spouse right then to listen to you or just to comfort you or say something. But they're mad. They're mad at that point. They're mad. They didn't shut down totally, but they got quiet. What is that? You got a response there?
No, I'm just looking to see what's going on.
Oh, okay. So they shut down. They're quiet. They're cooking dinner. They're doing all that. But I'm having a bad day at work, and I really need you right now. I really need you. I need you to help me out. But you dealing with something that happened yesterday or the night before that we didn't discuss even before I go to work. Or even sometime even before you go to bed. And the Bible says, don't let the sun go down your wrath. Be angry, but sin not. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. And the old folks used to say, don't go to sleep mad at each other.
Okay, but you know that happens a lot. Regardless as to what's, hey, Pam. She said, hey.
Is that Pam?
Yeah.
Hey, Pammy.
Okay, Kristen. All right. Sometimes you need to get quiet to think and see the other person's point. When you are angry, you cannot focus on the moment. Give the space. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, girl.
Okay, I can get with that. But you gotta now. But listen to the scenario. I've been at work all day, dealing with fools and super fools, idiots and idiots. But then I come home. And I need my wife. I need her, but she's dealing with something that was like yesterday. So now I done forgot about it now, and I tried to apologize. Well, I tried to get it together before we even parted from each other. But she's refusing or he's refusing because they possibly have an attitude. And you know it's an attitude. It's an attitude because you're not dealing with it. You say, well, I need time to process it. And it's like, you don't even know if that person don't even make it home from work.
Okay, but
you don't have but right now.
Okay. So let me throw this in there. You said you're doing all this out. Okay. Okay, so
Hey, Lisa.
you done had all this crazy stuff going on with you, with all these crazy folks at work, and you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs yourself now that you done came home, and so you want to have you need your wife, you need your spouse or whoever, and you want to talk about your day. Then, do you open up and want to have that conversation and open that door for dialogue, or you just gonna be quiet because you see that she still has an attitude?
That's my point. I'm gonna open that up because I want to have that dialogue. I want to come home and talk to my wife.
Okay.
I want to come home and talk to my husband.
You want to
Just
talk to your
no, well, I'm just speaking from the woman. I'm speaking from the woman's side. Okay. Okay. Anyway. No, but you want to come home and have that conversation with your spouse, because you had a really hard day and you really love your spouse, and you really want to. You don't want to ever. You really try not to leave the house in disruption. You don't want to leave your house in chaos.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Chris is my homie is chiming in tonight. Okay, she said you have to give the space. Women have to process. Men are from bars and women are from beach.
Now, what does that mean, Chris? Is that Chris?
That's my best friend.
All right, Chris. What does that mean? What Pam? Where you at, Pam? Where Pam? What does that mean, Chris? I am Kimmy Case. What does that mean? If you ain't on the table sleep yet, what does that mean? Y'all chime in, Pastor Cloud. All you ladies who've been married, who's in relationships, listen, does that make sense? And you know that you anything can happen. So you're a police officer.
Okay.
You don't know what's gonna happen there. So you're gonna hold on to trying to process something instead of just going ahead and getting it together. And maybe just process it as you go. Process it, but let them know we're not gonna let this separate us. We're not gonna let this come in between us.
Well, the thing is, we don't have to necessarily let it come in between, but again, you still want to process what the situation, and because you still haven't said your piece on it yet. That's the only thing. You haven't said your piece,
and I want to know.
And you want to hold that. It's because you want the right words to come out of your mouth. You don't want to just, again, you don't want to act, fuel the flame. You want it to calm down. You want it to resolve. So instead of, because we as women have a tendency to, well, and fly off the handle and you tune us out. But as mature women, as we mature, then we learn how to communicate as well. That's a two-way street.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll take a step back, get our thoughts together on what we really want to say. Because if I'm hollering and screaming at you, you have tuned me out. You're not listening to anything. You done made me more mad because I'm like, okay, now you're not listening to me. And then it goes, and it just continues to escalate. Mm-hmm. That's the last thing we want, is to continue to escalate the situation. We want to take a step back, calm down, and then have a adult conversation.
Okay.
About the matter. What's
so Kim says, I like to deal with issues right then and there. So you have one woman here.
Okay.
This is a woman, a full woman, a whole woman. That's it.
What else is she?
Okay, that's what they're trying to do. She's a full woman. Says that she want to deal with it right then and there. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for that comment. Thank you. Okay, so now you got Chris. I think she just came back in.
Okay, so Chris said, she said, wait. She said, wait. Women want to process. You want it to be right. You want it to be right away. I'm not, we are all not built the same. Pam says, we like to be very careful with our words. If you're saying something without thinking, you can't take it back. Exactly. You can't take words back. Now, honestly, we can attempt to have that conversation and deal with it right then, because I know I'm that kind of person. I'm gonna want to have that conversation, get in there with you and have that conversation. But I know I'm not in the right headspace to do it. So if I'm not in the right headspace, I'm gonna take a minute, and that helps both of us if I take that minute. Now everyone is different. Kim says she can go ahead and she wants to deal with it right then. Now, she may want to deal with it right there. It doesn't necessarily mean that she ain't mad about it.
Okay. I mean,
Okay,
I
I'm
don't.
serious. It doesn't mean, am I right, Kim? Let me know. It doesn't mean that she's not necessarily not mad about the situation, but she's formulating the words so she's, that she says what she needs to say so that you can hear her. Because she know if she go off, you're going to miss everything she's really trying to convey to you.
That's now. I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, okay, so it's called self-control. It's called self-control. Yes, I want to fly out. Yes, I want to call you out your name at this point. But self-control says that's not wise. She said that's right. Kim Davis said that's
All right,
right.
Kim, thank you.
So self-control says, okay, I'm going to say what I need to say. I might have a little attitude in how I'm saying it, but I'm saying it because it has affected me
Right.
in such a way that I have an attitude, but I need to say it so that you can start processing it yourself, so that you can see what you've done or what you said that was hurting or causing my attitude.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Mm.
So self-control puts it out on the table and says, okay, I'm going to put it out there so that we can deal with it, but then I'm going to back off of it because I'm not going to let how I really feel come out.
Right.
That's self-control.
Yeah, exactly.
But to not deal with it and let that person walk around during their day, that makes their day that much worse because they're wondering, they're concerned about you, they love you, they want you to be all right. So they want to deal with it so that you can be all right and they can go on with their day.
And there's nothing wrong with that if we can both have to sit down and have a conversation.
Okay.
Okay, but just because someone takes a step back to gather their thoughts doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to have that same conversation that day or that night. That conversation can still be had when you come back from the store.
But I'm talking about when you go through a whole day. Like Chris, was it Chris? Chris said, women need to process it so they won't say stuff.
And that's true. I said
And right. But what I'm saying is, but while you're doing that, that person is dealing with that stuff. They can't concentrate on work. They can't concentrate on what they set out to do because they really do care. And so all they want to have is a clue. And then they might be able to put the pieces together and to say, let me look at myself in this situation. Let me look at what I did. Let me take responsibility for what I did. But if you don't tell me, I don't know. I can't take responsibility for something that you didn't tell me.
Okay, so you want to know what it is, so it can be dealt with, right?
All I want you to do is just give me, say, sweetheart. That's it. For example, you say, sweetheart, you said something and I took it this way. And it might can get squashed right then if you tell me. So you take something that I said wrong, and you say, well, I got to process it before I come off and go flying off, because the man might have slipped and said something that he didn't mean to say. Or he said it, he meant to say it, but he said it in the wrong way. And you perceived it, or he said it in the right way, but you perceived it in the wrong way.
Oh, I see my homegirl is in here. I see Houston is in the house. Part of self-control is stepping back and gathering your thoughts. Thank you, Terry.
Okay, Terry. Now listen to the whole scenario again.
Uh-oh, Terry. Oh,
Terry.
Oh, my God.
See, you on the PAM list, Terry.
Woo!
Okay.
Okay.
So,
No.
stepping back to gather, what I'm saying is, okay, if your boss give you a specific job to do, all right, and you have an attitude, let's say you have an attitude with your boss, are you going to not deal with what you are supposed to do because you have an attitude with your boss, or do you tell your boss, well, I need time to process it before I do it? No, you're not going to do that to your boss. Why would you do that to your husband? What's Kim saying?
Okay. Yeah,
let's go with Kim. It also depends on the other person. The other person responds. Let's say it also depends on the other person responds to your feelings, or as to how the conversation goes. Okay, as to how the conversation goes. Now, right, that means that if they're going to further fuel the fire,
They in here now.
are you going to fuel the fire with your response, or are you going to find a more peaceful way to deal with the situation? And maybe y'all don't have to go fully into it, but now I have some clue as to okay what I need to deal with.
Okay.
Come on, what Chris said?
Okay, hold on. I got to get to Terry first. Okay,
Oh, Terry.
Terry says, but sometimes a person needs to be able to step back in order to gather their thoughts so that they are able to articulate how they are feeling appropriately. Oh, okay. Let's go. And then Chris says, we can't give you responsibilities if we're hollering and screaming at you. Then you don't hear us. Sometimes we need to step back and talk to someone too. Your mother or your closest friends. Closest friends. So you can calm down and even to tell specifics so that you can gather your thoughts. Okay. Kristen said job is different. Terry, oh Lord, she said, I tell my boss I need time to process. And she probably
Lord.
And knowing Terry, she probably do.
And Terry, and you still got a job, Terry. Lord have mercy. Terry, I'm praying for you, honey. I'm praying for you. I will fire you if you tell me that you got to process something when I give you a job. Listen, I'm telling you, it's something how we can process self-control. We talking about attitude now. We can have an issue with I had an issue with my principal at my school. I had an issue. Let me tell you the story. But regardless to what the fact that I had the issue, I still had to do the job. Okay, and I understand that. And I think as a spouse, we don't get no thumbs up. I think as a married couple, I think we owe just as much respect to our relationship as we do to our job, or even more, in my opinion, because I'm living with you every day.
Right. Okay, so Terry on the roll tonight. Terry said, I take time to process because if I'm upset, I cannot articulate my response appropriately. I may not answer in a manner that is appropriate. Yep. And you will find me if I answer then.
I'm gonna do you a favor, Terry. You fired. I'm gonna call your boss and tell him you fired. You got fired on your day off, Terry. Terry got fired on that day off. Put that on the media, Terry. You got fired for stealing the boxes if you wasn't even at work that day. Because you got an attitude. Lord have mercy.
Oh God.
Yeah, you right. She said I'm dealing with one when I deal with Terry. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
She tells the truth.
Terry, I'm yet praying for you, honey. I'm praying for you. I'm gonna fast and pray for you. You tell your boss that. But these are things. So there are things that cause attitude. So that we got to pay attention to. We got to be conscious or conscious or cognizant, whatever.
Cognizant.
Yeah, cognizant of the fact that the way we deal with things causes a reaction. There's a reaction that comes behind. What Terry say now? What Terry say now? She over there laughing and talking about, yeah, you like. What's up, Terry?
She said, Val, tell him I will get fired. And I had to give her your facial expression.
Right. Okay. Terry. You got cheering, Terry.
She got two grown boys.
Oh, she got two grown boys. You got a house, Terry.
Yes, she does.
A condo.
She does.
You don't want to get fired, Terry. You don't give unemployment before to get fired. Look, it's stuff.
I'm sorry.
It's stuff that causes attitude. Stuff like what you say. Then sometimes you ain't got to say nothing. And that sometimes causes attitude because you ain't saying nothing. I hate when I say, baby, what's wrong? Baby, what's wrong, huh? Huh? Baby, what's wrong, huh? Huh? You ain't talk to me, huh? I'm steady asking you what's wrong. And you steady just ignoring. Oh, nothing. You a lie. You's a lie. You's a lie. It is something wrong because you ain't saying nothing.
I'm about to take that further. You's a lie.
Hey, Angie.
Why you
Angie
looking
from
at me? Why
California.
you looking at me like that? Don't.
Look. Listen, first of all, y'all, I know my co-host here, or my host, our, she
Get
this
it right. Get it right.
okay,
Tell it.
it's our we're hosted together. All right, but one thing I know about my partner here is she can go there. Because one night we was taping, we were doing something, and I said, okay, well, we were supposed to have a meeting afterwards. But I couldn't do the meeting because I had something else to do. She said, well, I thought we were going to have the meeting. I said, well, no, I just found out that I had to go. She didn't say nothing. She just started shutting down. She stopped. She had that briefcase and on her out the door. I said, okay, bye. And she said, you know what? You're always changing the plans midstream. I said, huh? Because that's it. But see, and I did change the plan.
Needs to tell. If he's gonna tell that story, he needs to tell the story correctly.
Yes, but here's my point. When something pushes a button, that's all I'm saying. When something pushes a button in a woman, especially in women. Now I'm coming from the man side. I need. Where's Gerald? Where's Clinton? Where they at? They just nowhere to be found when I need them. Nowhere. And she double teaming me, Gerald and Clinton. They double her, Terry, Pam, Chris. They triple teaming me. Kim, my friend Kim. Oh Lord.
I got the ladies on my side tonight. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Deal with it. That's all I'm saying. Deal with it. So that there would be no attitudes walking around during the course of because attitudes build up and it pour on the enemy. Then the devil start pouring on more stuff, and that's what I was talking about. You at work and more stuff pouring on, and then you come home and then now both of y'all explode. And an innocent conversation now to go to that part. An innocent conversation now can be perceived as an argument.
Well, we've already gotten to the explosion part, so there is no conversation. It is
Hey, Vicky.
It is an argument, okay?
Well, it's not necessarily. What I'm saying is.
But wait a minute.
But I'm talking about like when you go to work and y'all have not dealt with the first issue, and you go on to work and you carrying that thing to work with you, and then the boss is coming, your coworkers is coming, and this stuff is just coming, and all of a sudden now it done got so hype, and now you so hot, you want to come home and you just remember that you and your spouse have some issues that y'all did not resolve, and then the minute she says something, oh, now you want to say something to me. I've been trying to talk to you all day long, so now you want to say something to me. And that's just like you just look. You better hold on. Check your tone. Okay? Check your tone. And then next thing you know, no, you check your tone. You don't tell me to take my tone. You check your tone. And then it just goes on and on from there. And it's like fire. Fire. Be fire in the house. There'll be people, the neighbors that heard you, smoke coming all out the windows and the chimney. Well, let's see what Kim said. Let's see what she said. What about when you try to tell your partner what's bothering you and they tell you, I ain't trying to hear that right now. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. When you tell your partner what's bothering you, and then they turn around and say, I ain't trying to hear that right now. So that means they're already in the attitude.
Well,
they're already in the attitude.
That means they're already
they went there.
Well, either it done went there, or they're already dealing with something else.
Or they're dealing with something else. True. And it's just piling on, like I said.
And it's like, they could have had, remember when you were saying something about having that bad day at work? And you could have been having that bad day at work, and then all of a sudden, You come in the house and you already get, they done piled it on you at work, and all of a sudden you get home and then you got somebody and you like, I'm not even trying to hear that right now. Let me, because at that point, that person is telling you, I got to get myself together because I'm dealing with something already. But you don't know that. But you don't know that. But let me get to what Terry said.
Terry.
But I got to get back to what the scenario you used with me, because you told that story wrong. Okay, so yeah, I did that. So anyway, y'all wait. Okay, so Terry said, what you said is valid. However, women are not set up like that. It's better to wait.
Now, well, Lord have mercy. That sounds like you get to sit up for a show. Set the stage. Put the sword in her hands so she can cut you.
You better leave Terry alone. He will cut you.
Terry, I'm going to have a talk with your boss.
Oh, Lord.
I hear you about being built. You're right. Women are built differently.
We are differently. I mean,
women's makeup.
And then, we're all different, and we all handle some different. We all may handle the same scenario a little differently than someone else. I mean, it's just, and a lot may have to do with what you're dealing with right at that moment. And men too, because y'all go through it. Don't act like y'all don't, because you do.
Yeah, men. I mean, men. There are some men to me that respond like women. There were times where I would be like pouting and shut down and won't say nothing to a woman. And I see Zena. Is that Zena?
Yeah, Zena. Yeah, Zena done tapped in. Hey, Zena.
Zena, where you been, Zena? You're late to the show, Zena.
All right, I love it. Houston and Atlanta is in the house. Okay, so Zena says, I'm very even-tempered. I'm going to mention a couple of times that I have an issue. If I go silent, my perception becomes my reality. Woo. Not begging for a conversation.
Woo. My perception becomes my reality, and that's a deep line there, Zena. My perception becomes my reality, because she said I done said it a couple of times. Now it becomes my reality.
Right.
Okay, Zena. It becomes your reality, but it was already really real.
Okay. She says, I will walk away from a blow up until I blow up.
Woo. I'm scared of you, so put all the knives up, lock all the drawers, lock all the gun cases, and then that Zena get to that point where she blow up. Listen, Zena, let me tell you something, sweetheart. It's to me, from a man's perspective, it has already become real. But it's the reversal, so to speak, of the dog. So now the woman is trying to deal with it, and the man is not. So we kind of mentioned it earlier. So the man shuts down. He's not saying it because now he's like saying what Chris said. We need time to process it. Does that make it right? See, if you, so that's just like, it's just like coming into a situation and say you perceive it a certain way right away, but you did not give it time to say, just like Chris said, and I agree with you, or Terry, one of them said it, that you got to give it time to say, okay, let me make sure that I heard that right. Let me make sure that I'm processing it right before I respond. Okay, I agree with you on that one, on that regard. But it should not take all day to process it. The mind works quicker than we give it time to work. We just get in that attitude, going back to what the show is. What causes attitude, good or bad? But we get into that attitude. Some of us are quick-tempered. See, that's we just got to be honest with ourselves. We are quick-tempered, and we are ready to blow up right on the onset.
Okay, so Chris says, the older I have gotten, I know when to say, baby, give me a minute. Not at the moment. I hope that my partner will give me that moment.
Who said that?
Chris.
Now, Chris. Okay, I'm gonna give you that minute, but I want to deal with it. I want to deal with it before I go to work or before I go to my next destination, so that I'm not taking it to my next destination, so that I can concentrate on what I have to do. Not to say that it's not important, that I want to just get it over with, get it together. No, I may want to hear it so that I can turn around and say, okay, baby, I hear what you're saying. Um, okay, so you're right. I agree with you. Let's take time and process it. But now, at least what I'm saying is, at least I know what's causing your attitude. So now I can kind of look at myself and say, Wade, did you do that? Wade, look at what you did. Look at what you did. Okay. Now, I can now take my own responsibility at that point. Zena, don't you say nothing smart, Zena. What did you say, Zena?
Leave Zena alone. Okay, Zena said the conversation can help find a happy medium. That's why I'll give his slow process time, and I have a main answer. Your inaction says my concerns are not important to you.
Zena, see, I knew you was going to say something crazy. No, I don't agree. I agree with that. Your reaction can determine whether you care or not. I agree with that. However, all I said was, I just want to know so that I can examine myself. I want to know so I can examine myself and take responsibility for what I did. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm ignoring or dismissing the issue. It just means now I have something to work with instead of nothing to work with.
Okay, so Kristen says, I hear you, but you don't have to give me that moment. You might go to work more frustrated. I am at least saying, give me the moment, but you cannot it cannot be on a timer. I agree with that. It doesn't have to be on a timer, because I'm going to say this. Because if you want to have a conversation in the morning, I'm not a morning person like that. When I wake up in the morning, my energy has to be very positive. I don't want to deal with no drama early first thing in the morning.
I told you, right? That's why you deal with it before you go to sleep. Bill Roberts, hey, that's my 403B man. That's my insurance guy. Hey,
okay,
Bill.
Well, Bill, you need to help him out. Okay.
Bill, I'm gonna need a policy on her, Bill. No, yes, you don't go to sleep. That's what Kim said that earlier. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath, which I said as well.
I agree
You
with
don't
you.
let the sun go down on your. In other words, don't go to sleep with unresolved issues. Say, hey, baby, listen. Like the song said, last night, me and my woman, we cried together. See, that's what he's talking about. They cried together because he said they were both, tears was running down their face about 3 o'clock in the morning. And he said, baby, I love you and I know you love me. And they began to hug and stuff. And they didn't want things to go on that way. They dealt with the issue. That's what Eddie Levert and what's the other one name? Walter Williams. That's what they were talking about.
But we ain't gonna cry about it. We're not gonna cry about it.
But that's how they dealt with it.
Okay, that's a song, but we're not gonna cry about it.
No, they got, what I'm saying is they said eyes wide open by 3 o'clock in the morning and said, baby, we can't go on this way. In other words, they were waking up to deal with it.
Okay.
What Pam saying?
Pam laughing. And and Kristen said, I agree with that way, but again, it depends. And we're not on the timer. You might find yourself on the couch.
Ooh, who's that?
Kristen.
You know what, Kristen? You mean.
Oh, she can be. I ain't gonna lie.
Kristen, you are mean.
Oh, Gerald just finally tuned in. I don't know if he's gonna help you though.
Gerald, where you been, man? Gerald, I need help. I got Zena, Kristen, Terry, and Pam with their homegirl. They all thugs. They just they quadrupling me, man. Jay, come on, man. Get on my side for the night. Okay, Jay?
Oh, Kim was on my
And
side.
Kim.
Too. Kim was
And
on my
Kim.
side, too.
I forgot about Kim. Oh, my God.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to let you read
What's
the
Zena? Zena, what Zena say? It's a thug life. That's what Gerald said. Gerald said it's a thug life.
What's he to say?
Jay, I got you.
Oh, God.
Okay. Zena, I'll plant the seed and let you think about it. I'll remind you, giving you time to fix the story however you need to. But you can't keep avoiding the issue. I totally, Zena, now this is the time that you and I are in total agreement. And that's what I've been saying. Plant the seed so that I cannot develop an attitude for not knowing and just sitting there waiting on things to just pile up. Zena said something else. Zena said something else. Waiting on things to pile up on top of what I'm dealing with, that I'm dealing with my woman. And I'm like, man, I'm having issues at home, and then I come to work and I'm dealing with this, while I'm at school and I'm dealing with that. I need to know. I want to I want to do my checklist. Get that out. Even if we got to come back home and deal with it, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm coming home with flowers. I'm coming home. I'm gonna cook dinner. I'm gonna run you a bubble bath. I'm going to set it out because I'm going to be apologetic, especially if I find out that I'm wrong. But I'm examining myself.
Okay, so Zena said it has to be two ways. Exactly. At the end of the day, it has. I mean, we have to be on the same page.
I agree
At
with
the
that.
end of the day,
I
we have to
agree
be on the
again.
same page.
Zena, you coming on my side right now.
No,
Thank you,
she's
Zena.
not coming on
Thank you,
your
Zena.
side.
Zena,
Just because you got a couple of points.
is that right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What Gerald say?
Oh, George just came back on that song. He's working. So,
Okay.
he'll fade in and out. But yeah.
So all I'm saying is I agree, Zena. That's so well put. Plant the seed. That's all I want you to do. Plant the seed so that I can know how to germinate the seed. So the seed knows how to germinate in my mind. So I know how to water it and nurture it and cultivate it. So again, I'm able to take responsibility for what I've done. I'm not, because I may be ignorant to what I've done. I may have done something that I thought was ignorant or innocent instead of or ignorant. Okay. But I just need to know what it is. I could be like, oh, sweetheart, I didn't know that you took that way. Like I said, if I said, baby, I found it's a BDB right there. It's a nap right there. And you didn't like that. You might have been like, what? And you just spent all that money on that hairdo. And just you hear me say there's a BDB right there. And you didn't like it because you thought you was looking so cute. And you did. You was looking cute, but I might have been just playing.
Gerald,
and you took it wrong.
Gerald came in late. Now he wants to know the topic and the discussion. You late, you're going to have to watch the replay.
Okay, so let's give him the topic. Okay, the topic is what causes attitudes in your spouse, be it good or bad. All right? So we dealt with the bad. We dealt with a lot of the bad, Jay. We dealt with a lot of bad, but you can still comment. You can still comment on what causes a bad attitude. But what we're going to do is we'll shift to the good right quick. And how much time we got?
We ain't got much.
We ain't got much time. We got about what?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
For 5 minutes, for the next 5 minutes, for these next fleeting 5 minutes, as they say, over the pulpit, for these next fleeting 5 minutes, we want to deal with what good. Now, somebody can get helped out here on the real for real, because what could happen that can be good, that can bring out the best in your spouse.
Right.
Give some comments. Pam, Chris, Zena, you with me, Zena. Terry, Kim, let's talk about it. What do you like that will make your attitude good so that your man will know? He may know, but tell us so we can know. Give us some pointers. There's somebody just chimed in that quick. Look at that.
No, that was Gerald. He said the good, do something, surprise him or her.
There you go. I found out that perfume, like you buy a nice fragrance for your girl, always works. And when you just buy it. It don't have to be nothing expensive, really. It don't have to be nothing that's totally, totally expensive. Whatever.
I'm just messing. It's all about the gesture.
And that's my point. It's all about the
He
gesture.
said girl said something out of character.
So, okay, I get that. You want to do something that's letting her know from a man's perspective. You want to do something to let her know that I'm thinking of you. And one thing I know about women, is that they love to know that you are thinking about them, that they are at the top and at the center of your mind. They want to know that they are special in your life.
They do. And they also know when you don't.
And they want to know. They want to know. So I understand that.
They want to know.
I understand it. And I just,
She said, yes, it does. Perfume. That was a hint.
Yeah.
That was a hint.
Yes, perfume, right? But I'm telling you, those are things that women love. Women who love perfume love.
And Pam said, I like a weekend getaway. I'm
You
with
know what?
I'm with you, Pam. I like a
See,
getaway.
Pam,
I like a getaway. Take
Pam,
me up out of here.
Pam, you had to come with something. You want to go to the Bahamas for the weekend, don't you?
I know that's right. I ain't mad with you. I can do that. I like a weekend, a week, a 4 day. I like to get out of town. Okay, then we can reconnect. Okay, so we can talk, and then it will be simple as cooking together, or taking a dance class together, or do something for couples that benefits the two of you. That was from Kristen.
I like that. Who's that, Crystal?
Kristen.
Kristen, I like that, Kristen. I really like that. Now, about probably a little bit more than Pam, because everybody ain't got that kind of dough like you and Valerie. Okay? They ain't got that kind of dough like y'all.
Whatever.
So I like what Kristen said. Y'all do some cooking together.
And then Zena said, you better know what fragrance I like.
See, but that's what comes from knowing each other.
And then Pam says, it could just be a spa weekend. Or go to the mountains. What mountains you talking about? Oh, never mind. I know what you're talking about. Okay. And then
we ain't going to no mountains, Pam. Is that Pam?
Yeah.
Pam, Corona up in the mountains. We ain't going there because we going to stay home. I like Kristen's idea. We stay home and cook some food and chill, watch some movies and cuddle. It's Corona free.
Okay, and then Chris says, see, I'm not that mean. Now you are off the couch. And then Zena says, notice the little things and speak on it.
Okay, I got you. But like I said again, so okay, let me go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now, what else, fellas? Come on, where the fellas at? Wait a minute, let's see. Kim, what Kim say? She said, put on some nice music and dance together. See that? See what I'm saying? See, those are simple things. It don't cost a lot. They're very simple, but they're very special.
Yes.
They're very special. They say a lot. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's the perfume. Okay, go ahead. What you got?
Okay, so then Gerald says rose petals on the bed, surprise a trip for two, dinner for two in the park, or a trip to a winery. Hello, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Gerald, you trying to get a date, ain't you?
He got one. He got a wife at home.
Oh, okay, good. You do that, Gerald. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. That's a good.
But
That's
you
a
know
good
what?
one.
But if you know, like I love what Kim said. I like what everyone said. You know why? Because if you know your spouse or your mate, then you already know what to do. That's it. I mean, it could be the simplest of things, gestures, or it could really be something. I mean, if you're already planning a weekend getaway. Now, let me say this: you can plan a weekend getaway, and you can go to Columbus. I mean, it's just getting out of town, just kind of getting away from everything clear the air, and just kind of just go somewhere and reconnect. It's just that simple. You can go to Pittsburgh. It's a one-time trip.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree
so
with that.
so
I
you don't
love
have
doing
to,
that.
so a weekend getaway can be somewhere very close. You don't have to go that far to have a weekend getaway.
Okay, what Gerald say?
Okay, so Gerald says, contest on getting to know him or her better. Potential getting knowing him or her better. Okay. And so then Pam said, fresh air is good. There is no COVID in the Appalachian Mountains. And then see that's a Georgia girl talking. So okay, so then Zena says, just about to ask if he was single.
Who, Gerald?
Who you asking was single, Zena?
Gerald. Because of that, it's coming.
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
I don't know.
She gonna tell me.
I know
Keep
that
it going until she answers.
I know. Okay.
Keep going till she answers. We keep going till she answers.
Okay, so Pam said bed and breakfast getaway isn't expensive. Correct.
I got you on that. That's good. That's good. I mean, you know, it's the little things that mean a lot.
Exactly. The
But
little things.
when you just want to be with that person, you just want to spend some time, and you want to do some talking, and you know, women love to talk.
Absolutely. What you trying to say? You like to talk? Okay, so Gerald said I have no problem teaching brothers. I know that's right, cuz let them know.
Jay, you all right with me? You all right with me?
I got a few pupils that need to be in your class.
See, so as you can see, there are things that can work a bad attitude and things that can work a negative attitude or a good attitude.
I'm sorry, okay, Zena, he's taken. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Who's that, Gerald?
Yeah.
I say it, Gerald.
I know.
I remember. I thought about the comment, and it's okay. You know, it's the simple things. It's the very basic stuff that can go a long way. It's just sometimes it's just being together. It's hanging together. I told when I had the show. Remember we had the show the Night of Love on Sunday nights, and the only reason we had to shut it down was because of the copyright infringements and things of that nature. But the focus of that show was to reconnect with your spouse. You know, to reconnect with your spouse, and to rekindle the fire, recapture that when you first met him. You ever been, and we got to do a show on this one too. When you first laid eyes on your spouse, how was it? That's going to be a good one. We'll say that for later. When you first laid eyes.
Oh, Zena said he has a strong mindset that men don't embrace. Exactly.
How you know, Zena?
Oh, no.
How do you know, Zena? You ain't met all men, Zena.
I'm about to cut him off, y'all.
You ain't met all men.
Okay, Gerald saying men need to learn how to listen to what women like, women that like to talk. Once she knows you are attractive, once she knows that you are attentive, she will do less talking and give more action. And Zena says, brothers need to teach one another. Amen.
And women need to teach one another.
We do all the time.
Why you playing, Zena?
I'm getting ready to roll Wade in the class, y'all.
In Gerald's class?
It was somebody's class. Somebody's class. Oh my goodness. This has been funny.
Yeah, it's been fun. It looked like we ran out of time.
We have ran out of time, you guys. So
Miss Professional here got to deal with some other meetings. You know, she's big time now, so I got to get her autograph myself. You know, because I'm just a squirrel. And but anyway.
Yeah, I got other things to do, y'all. So, but Zena said, instead of sitting back and agreeing with the negative, I know that.
I got you, Zena. I got you. See, I'm a stickler about romance. I'm a stickler about that. I believe that you promote more positive in your relationship, and you'll get less negative. All right. I believe that you pour into your spouse. You don't pour into your somebody else what you should be pouring into your spouse. We had that show about that. We talked about, do you honor your pastor more than your husband or your wife?
Um,
No, you pour into each other.
Thank you, Kristen. Kristen said, "Good show, guys. We appreciate it. We try to
Thank you,
bring you
Kristen.
as much, based on our topic. We love as much interaction that we can get from you through our audience participation, and we love it. We thank you all for participating. Big shout out to Kim, to Zena, to Gerald, to
Terry,
Terry,
Kristen,
Kristen, Pam,
Pam.
and who else did we have that was chiming in tonight? I think that's pretty much it.
That's all the people that really gave comments. I think
True.
Angela.
Truzy, I gotta go back to my early on folks, and I want to just thank you guys for tuning in and participating tonight. And for those of you who are watching who did not participate, we appreciate you as well.
As well.
And so check us out next week, same time, 7:30 for Candid Conversations. If you have not liked our page on our Candid Conversations, please like our page. I keep saying every week that we're going to move to that platform and start broadcasting from there. So, but I want to get the numbers up more before we actually do that. So we want to kind of condense all these devices that we have.
Yes.
And
they're everywhere. They're closing in on us.
Yeah, for real. And so if you guys can see what we see, you will be tripping. But we really want everybody to stay safe. I know in most cities they're starting to mandate everyone wear their mask. Everyone, please, please, please wear your mask. I'm telling you, I'm hearing every single day someone who has COVID, and I know people who have been hospitalized, and it has reached my family. I have friends. Please, please, please. This is serious. Wear your mask.
And it's a breath repellent. All right. So no, but on the serious side, she's right. Wear your mask. All right. So until next Monday, we will see you. We hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and we hope that you stay safe. We want you to stay happy. We want you to stay cautious and stay blessed. All right. And so, in the words of my brother, my deceased brother, in the memory of Don Cornelius, peace,
love,
and soul.
We're out. Good night.